What is the STAR method? The word STAR is an acronym that represents a 4-step structure for organizing our responses to behavioral interview questions. Each of the letters in the word STAR represents a specific criterion. When put together, helps us to produce a successful result. The letter S stands for situation. The letter T stands for tasks. The letter A for actions, and R for results. Let's take a closer look. So the S in the STAR represents the situation, the scenario. The key here is that it has to be specific. Not a general situation or scenario, but one that is very, very specific. It's time-stamped. The T represents the task. We say a task or a target. A task being something clearly defined by superior or by your job description, and a target being something you've set for yourself. Both of those would fall under the T. The A is for your activity and your action. What activities were performed, what actions you took, or inactions, what inactions, actions you avoided would also fall under the A. In the R category would be results. Results achieved, recognition achieved. Key to the R, this is where lessons learned would also fall. Lessons learned are a really crucial result. So STAR, the situation, the task, the activity, the result. The amount of time you dedicate to each is represented by a funnel, which says take time to lay out the situation clearly so that we can understand exactly what we would do in that situation, what we would hope you have done in that situation. Before moving on to the task, take time to lay out the task and your target so that we understand what actions would be related to those tasks and actions, and targets rather. And then go ahead and take time to lay out your actions, and don't forget the results. When you begin to respond to a question, start out your situation, be specific. Be specific with your example, talk about an event or an activity. Provide context as well. So for instance, I was working at a busy retail outlet on Christmas Eve last year, and we had 5 times the people inside the store than we usually have. Who was there? What was happening? Where did this happen? When did this happen? How did this happen? Make sure you provide the interviewer all the information that they will need to make the decision on the caliber of candidate you are when you lay out the situation. Set the scene in the situation. Make sure the situation is understood. When I used to work at, when I was on Christmas Eve last year, make sure they have all the information about the scene so that when you move on to the next section, there are no unanswered questions. Then, be sure to lay out the task clearly. What needed to be done? Make sure you highlight any challenges, any constraints, any deadlines. For instance, we had 2 less staff than usual, and we had 5 times the people in the store. Make sure that the interviewer sees the situation that you're dealing with clearly based on the tasks and the constraints, deadlines, costs. Please be sure to differentiate tasks imposed upon you by your job description, by your boss, or by the situation as very distinct from the targets you've set for yourself. Think about it. Who would you hire? Someone who does exactly what they were told to do, or someone who goes beyond that and set targets or goals for themselves and meet those as well? So make sure, given the task, you highlight the targets that you've set for yourself over and above that. Targets emphasize your motivation, your initiative, a lot of the skills that the interviewer will be looking to identify. So for instance, your task was to make sure you process at least 10 persons per hour. But I made sure to set myself a target to process at least 15 people per hour because I wanted to be the most efficient processor for the evening. Outline the task clearly. Use language like, I realized that if I only processed 10 people per hour, we would be having people in the store long after closing hours. I looked at the crowd and I realized I needed to speed up. I assessed the problem. I thought about this, I thought about that. Make sure you are deeply ingrained in thinking, processing, and problem solving, and determining targets that you need to set yourself over and above the task to improve efficiency. These are attractive for the interviewer. Take a look at your actions. Make sure you describe exactly what you did. Not what you would do, could do, or should do, but exactly what you did. What did you do to complete the tasks, or meet the targets, or achieve other results that were not stated? What didn't you do that should not have been done is also something to remember. Sometimes inactions are as important as actions. But make sure what you did is highlighted. Highlight your desirable qualities and competencies when you speak about the actions you've taken. It means you're going to use language like, I took the initiative to, I got my team involved in, I took leadership of the project, I did independent research, I worked overtime, I completed the task, I met with, spoke with, I fixed this, I did that. Everybody's looking to see that, including the interviewer. And then we come to the R in STAR, the results. What were the results of your actions and efforts? Please make sure you do not leave this off. This is a big mistake. What was the outcome? What specifically was your contribution to the outcome? Not, our team did this, that's great, but how did you contribute? What did you accomplish? What did you learn? You need to quantify and qualify your results. Lessons learned, recognition, rewards, results. When we say quantify and qualify your results, we mean be specific in your results. Wait times dropped by 18%. We processed 40 more people than we usually process in any given afternoon. Pass rates improved by 25%. Time savings, we reduced the time from 7 to 4 days. It's always a great idea to demonstrate a numerical answer. Quantify. But you also have to qualify your answer. The organization benefited because I found this helped my team. The customer, the patient was happy because the team produced greater results. Quantify and qualify. Remember, when you are providing results, numbers illustrate the level of success or the effectiveness of your actions. The marketing campaign resulted in a 15% increase in sales of textbooks. We can tell exactly what the contribution was, what the marketing campaign achieved. The 4 follow-up phone calls resulted in a 94% survey completion rate. We know what the numbers are. As a shift supervisor, I was responsible for training all new employees, but we don't know how many new employees. Does that mean 1 per 6 months, or was that 150 to date? Numbers illustrate the level of authority and responsibility. Continue to quantify your numbers. I was also the team leader for a group of 5 employees. Make sure to quantify. They illustrate the amount of experience you have. Use numbers. I've trained about 12 new employees there. I have done this here. Use numbers to quantify your results. So let's remember, state the specific situation. Lay out the scenario. Make sure it is specific. Lay out the tasks. Make sure they're clearly understood. And in addition to that, make sure you set targets for yourself over and above those tasks and that you clearly identify those targets. Your actions and activities must be emphasized. What specifically you did. Just what you did, not what you would have liked to do or should have done, but exactly what you did. And then make sure you lay out your results in a way that's quantified and qualified. With this information, you should now have a better understanding of what the STAR method is. Thank you. I'm Michelle Shaw.